It feels sort of like a shiny second skin that I just sit there rubbing all the time, like,
Support us on Patreon for the bootleg video of this interview and see it unedited as it was recorded live.
I am not average, I am not ordinary, I am a masterpiece, you know I do it for me.
Hi guys, I'm Zoe Page and welcome to LatexFashionTV Unzipped. This is an interview all about latex fashion, and we're starting it off today with the absolute gorgeous and one of my favourite friends in the whole world, Lucy Lauren.
Hello!
Hi! And how are you today?
I am very good, thank you. All the better for seeing you.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you. Would you like to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
I would love to. So I'm a fetish sort of glamoury model from Devon. Me and Zoe work together quite a lot. I've been doing this job for about 5 years now and I absolutely love it.
Not just fetish work, but you do loads of beautiful work with loads of modelling because some of your images are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I try to like mix it up, so I do lots of different stuff, not just fetish stuff. I do, like you said, like glamour, art, nude, creative stuff, latex, well, that's fetish. But I try to mix it up as much as possible.
You're very, very good and you're very creative. And it's just every time I'm on Instagram and Lucy's stuff comes up, I'm just like, because it's so beautiful. Your work is absolutely lovely.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So my first question for you is, how did you first discover latex and or PVC?
Okay, so I didn't discover latex until I started modelling. I had obviously heard about it and seen it and thought, oh, that's cool. But then doing my modelling jobs, I ended up doing like working for latexy type people, and I got to try it and feel it. And then I had to gradually buy some items of my own, and I'm like building up my collection now and getting more and more into it, I think.
I've been to your house and I've seen your little collection and it's quite impressive.
Lots of funky stuff. I like bright colours and things. So.
Well, for me, it was like when I go to your house and we're working together, and all of a sudden there's little snippets of something new. Like she had this gold sort of like strapless latex dress. I hadn't seen that before, and I was like, oh, where's she been hiding that one then?
Yeah, just get random little bits.
What was your first latex or outfit?
This dress. It's my first ever outfit that I bought, and it's still one of my favourites. I love pink, and I love the long sleeves on it and how it's really, really short,
What is it about latex that you love?
But I love the feel of it, because I just can't stop running my hands all over it all the time, and how shiny it is. I'm a bit like a magpie, so I'm attracted to shiny, bright things.
I'm exactly the same. Anything shiny, straight in there.
Yeah.
So how do you get into your latex? Do you prefer lube or talc, or do you have your own special way of doing it?
I use talc today. I like both. I don't know why I use talc today. I just automatically grabbed it and put it on. But I do like the feel of lube as well. Like it's sort of squishy inside.
So if I'm only going to be in latex for like 5 minutes or nothing at all, and I want something quick and easy to get into, then I'll talc up. If I'm going to be in latex all day, or longer than a day, then I'll use lube because it needs to move with your body.
Yeah, definitely. And I've got to shoot after this something that's not latex, so with talcum powder I can just take it off and dust it off. I'll probably need a shower after lube.
They both have pros and cons. Has it ever gone wrong for you wearing latex, or if you've been out and something embarrassing has happened, or you got into it wrong, or what has latex ever done that has gone wrong for you?
Oh, gone wrong, latex. I'm looking at you because I don't know if you are thinking of like an embarrassing story of me that you want me to tell. I'm sure there's
We
lots.
have quite a few embarrassing stories, but we shall leave those till later on.
Okay.
So have you ever gone, accidentally moved and ripped it and it's been in front of people? Or have you ever sort of, I know there's an embarrassing moment of me when we were working together and I lifted up my armpit and it farted.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it does make quite a lot of noises like that.
Trapped air, anything under here, and you accidentally lift it, it's like, and you're like, it was the dress, honest. That for me is when it's gone wrong. That's more embarrassing. I don't mind rips or tears because they're just accidents and devastating moments, but when it comes from funny noises,
That was good though. So I find so when you've got tight short skirts on, they like roll up really quick and easy. So if you're walking around, they'll be like, whoop, like that, not opportune moments.
No, I find tops do the same. So if I'm wearing leggings, all of a sudden my top is like halfway up here.
Yeah.
How do you stay down? And that's when you've used a little bit too much lube, perhaps.
Yeah.
Wasn't you wearing a boob tube top once and someone put a little bit too much lube and you were walking around and your top just kept coming?
Oh my God, they squirted the lube here, and like that dress was on it before, it's sort of a bit low cut. My boobs were just slipping out all over the place, and we were out in public, so I was like, ah! And I didn't realise it was that. It wasn't even intentional for a change.
No, it was purely accidental. It's fun.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite type of latex to wear? Any dresses? Do you prefer dresses, leggings, catsuits? Do you prefer to be fully covered, or do you prefer, a little bit more skin on show?
I think I prefer more skin on show. I'm like into sort of cupcakey latex, like frilly dresses, latex like bikinis and things like that. But I do love a good catsuit, and I'll just about to order one. So I love dresses because I love the short skirts and things, and getting in and out of them, and yeah.
What does latex feel like for you?
It feels sort of like a shiny second skin.
Yeah.
That I just sit there rubbing all the time, like,
Like, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have any favourite designers?
Yeah. I've got a couple actually that spring to mind. So when we went to Polymorph, the quality of their latex was just insane, and how easy it was to put on and off, wasn't it? It just even without lube on top, it just slipped right on, and it seemed different somehow.
With Polymorph, you can tell you've got a Polymorph like product because it just feels completely different.
Yeah.
Generally don't know how they do that, and I'm going to ask them if I can go into their factory again and do a behind the scenes with them with Latex Fashion TV. We should do that. Do you have a favourite outfit, and how many times have you worn this outfit? I'm guessing it's your pink dress, isn't it?
Yeah, this is my favourite. I've worn it more times than I can count. And I've also got a pink skirt, like a frilly pink skirt that I always seem to wear. It's like one of the things that you just grab when you need some latex.
How often do you wear latex?
Well, because I'm shooting in it, I'm in it a few times a week for photos or videos for my clip stores and things like that. So yeah, at least a few times a week.
So my next question, because we have loads of this, but it's public outings in latex. So before we go on to what we've done together publicly in latex, have you done, or would you go shopping with latex on? Just normal, casual,
I would now. definitely. I would definitely wear it out now. In fact, I quite get a bit of a buzz out of wearing it in public now. I never used to. And now I've actually gone up my way to pick a few latex items that I can easily wear like on nights out and things without being it too extreme that people can be like, oh my god, like just like little black skirts and just like just sort of casual out latex, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. So like a black skirt you could get away with because you could get away with wearing like PVC, you know, or a leather skirt or a latex skirt, especially if it's black and you're out in a club, it would just look normal really.
Yeah, and if you mix it with like a cotton top and things, it's yeah.
So now we are going to talk about our Montreal shenanigans. So our sort of like Lucy was going to Montreal and it was the Fetish weekend in Montreal. I don't know why I got lost with that. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? And Lucy invited me because she didn't want to go on her own, and I just thought, do you know what? Why not? Because Lucy's so much fun. You're there with a mate. You're dressed up. You're with a bunch of people who were all into the same thing as you. Why not? So we did, and we were there for how long?
I mean, I think we were there for like a week altogether, but the actual Fetish weekend was like 4 days or something.
And the minute I got off the plane,
sorry.
The minute I got off the plane, so I'd been on a plane for about 6 hours, we went straight out and hit it hard with drinking, basically.
Yeah, because I had been there already for 3 weeks, I think, with a friend that didn't drink, and then a week on my own. And I was like, sorry, I need wine. So your taxi pulls up, and we're like, quick, go, just chuck yourself down.
Go, out, now. And then the next day I was sick as a dog.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
I've never been so hungover in my life. That's how hard we hit it. I couldn't move. I was like, Lucy, I don't feel very well. She's like, eat something. I was like, no. But that's pretty much what we're like though. When we go out, we just have so much fun. We don't even realise that time is a factor.
Yeah.
What else did we do in Montreal?
What other than the Fetish weekend?
So like crazy sort of things. There were so many crazy things that we did. So many. So we were working for B-Gloss, and whilst we were there, we practically wore latex for 3 days. We wore their latex catsuit for 3 days straight, and we were working from like 11 in the morning, and we didn't get back to our apartment till 6 a.m. with a lot of things going on in between.
Yeah, it was mad, non-stop, but it was so much fun. I just remember for like a week after, my feet hurting still because we were in heels for like 11, 12 hours a day or something, and that's like unheard of for me.
So we spent quite a lot of time in latex catsuits and latex outfits. We literally spent the whole weekend for 4 days straight just wearing latex.
Yeah.
And we did photo shoots, we did catwalks, we did music videos, we did a whole lot of stuff, to the point where people were coming up to us and saying we broke the internet, because the whole time there were so many photographers about, and we were just like, we need to be in front of that camera, and just literally jumping in front of the camera and like, we're shiny, look at us, picture. So that was quite interesting, and we've had a few incidences where we went out away from the weekend itself and decided to walk down the strip of Montreal with another friend of ours for no reason to walk. We just met a bunch of random strangers who couldn't leave us alone because they thought we looked like superheroes because we were wearing our catsuits.
That was amazing, like in a completely like non-kinky bar and everything. We're just like, 3 of us in catsuits. We walked in and everyone was like, And I was like, ah! And then everyone came over and said, oh, is it right? We can feel you. What's this you're wearing? And they were just really intrigued about it, and they loved it.
Yeah, they did, to the point where they would follow us to the toilet so they could watch us pee, because they were that intrigued. They wanted to know how we did it in our catsuits. At this point, I have to point out, everyone's also very drunk, but these people were just, they'd never seen latex or girls in latex, and they just found us absolutely, you know, they were bemused by us, and to the point where they were following us everywhere. We'd met a bunch of random people who were like, oh my God, you guys look great. And then there was an after party, which they invited us to, which then we ended up at like 3 a.m. walking through Montreal in our catsuits, going to some random person's house that we just met at a bar.
It was fun.
It was great. But when we walked into that apartment, it was just kind of, it was like we'd walked into the Amazon jungle.
It was so weird. But they were so nice, and yeah.
It was beautiful. You wouldn't expect it. I didn't expect. I was just expecting a normal apartment. All of a sudden, we were in the jungle, and there was plants floor to ceiling. I was just like, wow. So that was one fun sort of incident. The other one is where we locked ourselves in the foyer trying to get back to our apartment.
Oh my God. So it took us about. So we went to this Airbnb that we hadn't been to before, and we got the keys for it, and we came home at about, it must have been 6 o'clock in the morning or something. Because we hadn't been to the apartment, we weren't sure if we were in the right place, and we got stuck in the foyer trying to get through. And then we were stuck in the lift, and I panicked and pressed every button in the lift. So the lift like stops at every floor on the way up and down.
We were stuck in the elevator for about, oh God knows how long. But didn't we do that in shiny catsuits, or were we all dressed up at that point?
Maybe. But then the funniest bit was, because we went into the Airbnb, the next day we hadn't met the owners of the Airbnb, and we like had to put all our cat suits and hoods and everything on to go for the fashion walk, the photo walk. And so we like sneaked out, and she was like, oh, sorry. And she was like, oh, wow. But then she didn't really speak English very well. And then she texted you, didn't she? And she was like, by the way, you guys looked amazing when you left this morning. We were like, oh.
Yeah, we were head to toe in latex, and we were quite worried about like freaking them out because they just met us. Now we're staying in their apartment, and all of a sudden we're just like two gimps, basically.
We had our heads on and everything. I have like a latex hood with devil horns on. And yeah, but she loved it.
What was your favourite part about the photo walk?
So we were like boiling hot, and we were like in the underground quite a lot, and it's like the middle of summer, like sweating. So we was like, oh, it's so hot, and we like had our heels on, and we were like just dying. And we managed to like grab a bottle of water from somewhere. Anyway, we were like stood in this huge square, and there's loads of people taking pictures and just messing around and everything. And I was like, Zoe, I'm getting in that water fountain. She was like, don't be silly. I was like, I don't care, I'm too hot. It's like a heat wave, I'm dying. So I just jumped in the water fountain, was rolling around in it. I was like, Zoe, it's the best, get in. In her catsuit, she was like, no. So I was like, oh, and I splash you. And you're like, oh, actually. Like 30 seconds later, we were rolling around in it, like, oh my God, it's the best. I mean, that's awesome pictures, like lying in the water in our catsuits.
And because we're wearing latex, it didn't matter that we got wet. It didn't matter that, you know, we got head to toe soaked, because we would have dried off anyway. It was so cool. I did also quite like the Shining booth as well that we worked at. I think for me, the Shining booth in Montreal when we worked for Bee Glass was I got to meet and talk to fellow people who like any sort of crazy sort of stories about that's happened to you in latex. That doesn't involve me.
The one that I picked involves you.
Oh, tell us both.
Well, I was going to say the one where you dressed me up in latex and you cuffed my hands behind my back, and it was for a video, for a shoot. And so when I first, well, like earlier on, before I went to Montreal and that, I was really nervous about going out in public in latex and kink stuff, and I was always like, oh no, they're going to see, I'm like worried about it. So Zoe obviously took advantage of this. Dressed me up in latex, cuffed my hands behind my back, and then put a big latex cape over me. And you took us out on a walk down like a canal path or something. And there was like hikers coming past and everything. And I was gagged under it as well. And then you put a scarf over. Oh my God, I was like absolutely dying. And Zoe obviously was loving the fact that I was dying, making it a million times worse. You were like going, good morning, everyone, like to all these people, and I was like trying to hide in a bush and everything. It was so funny.
I think that for me, that was probably the make or break with our friendship.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
You swore quite a lot that day, but it got you over your initial fear. Because then when we went to Montreal, you just didn't care at all. You were loving it.
Well, I think Montreal is what sort of changed my view on it really. So after being out in public so much in latex, like tourists were stopping and saying, can we have our picture taken with you? And there were like kids having their picture taken with us, and adults and tourists and everyone. And I was like, and everyone was just walking past going, wow, that's amazing. So after that, I was like, I love it. And I can do anything I can now to get out in public.
Even our Uber driver was like, can I take your picture?
Yeah.
It was so weird. We would get in the back of our Uber dressed in our catsuits, all like head to toe in latex. And he's like, oh my God, you girls look amazing. Can I take a picture? And we were like loving it, going, yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as I come home from that, I'm like, oh my God, get me out in public in latex. I love it.
Yay!
It changed me.
What advice would you give to anyone trying latex for the first time? Just based on your personal experiences and the stuff that you've been through yourself, trying on latex, getting in latex, stuff that your tribes and tribulations through that, and so it help other people not to make the same mistakes that you did.
So many. So when I first started trying on latex, I was so paranoid about breaking it. I was like, well, I couldn't even get it on because I was like, oh no, I don't want to put my fingernails through it and everything. But I think it's a lot tougher than you sort of imagine. And if it's lubed up and you're using like your whole hand to pull it on rather than grabbing it with nails and things, it's not actually as delicate. I know it does break quite a bit, but I was being so paranoid about it. So you can sort of be a bit not rough with it. That's probably not the right words.
So basically, the more products you use to get in it, the better. So don't be shy about using lube.
Yeah. I was it would take me forever to get anything on. Sometimes I couldn't. I was like getting people to help me because I was so paranoid about ripping it. But I'm all right now.
Yay! You look absolutely amazing. I love it when you wear latex because Lucy has this absolute gorgeous figure and it just shines even more in it. So where can we find you online?
Everywhere. Okay, so my Twitter and Instagram is UK Cute Girl Lucy 2, bit of a mouthful. A Fet Life and UK Cute Girl, and I've got a couple of websites which you can find the links for on my Twitter. They've got latex in as well. I'm basically UK Cute Girl on everything. Twitter and Instagram is UK Cute Girl Lucy 2 because I got my first account removed.
It's because you're too hot and they can't handle you.
I broke it.
Fantastic. I am so happy I got to do this interview with you. You've been amazing and it's just wonderful to actually talk to you about all the latex stuff for Latex Fashion TV.
Thank you so much for thinking of me. I was really excited to do this.
I think there was a list of girls that we had in mind to interview and yours was like right at the top. So
I love you. That's so fun. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Excellent. So, if you want to see more latex fashion, join us on LatexFashionTV. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all of the platforms because we are literally everywhere. I'm Zoe Page and thank you for watching Latex Fashion TV.
Thank you for supporting our Patreon.